Hello and welcome to yet another video from us at Elite FPL. We are here to discuss the Gameweek 19 events, and obviously it's not quite over yet. There's still one more game to be played in Gameweek 19. Of course, Fulham taking on Chelsea on Thursday. The big news in that one is, of course, Mitrovic will not feature. So my captain, Steve-O's captain, many other captains will not have the joy of seeing him getting any points of any sort in that game. The only good news is that the relief, I should say, is that Haaland did not go crazy against Chelsea. In fact, we're going to go over the events of the past game week and kind of just react. And Steve-O, we were talking about it briefly before we hit the live or the record button. And you pretty much said we're going to call this video the worst double game week ever ? Well, not for me, because I didn't go crazy and bring in lots of double game week players like some people did. I wasn't super. So for me, this was not the worst double game week ever. In fact, this is probably the best double game week ever so far, because I didn't have the likes of Chelsea, Fulham players doubled up on. Some people had 6 of them. I had 1, 2. I had 2 of them. So for me, it wasn't a big deal. But for definitely people that were playing the fixtures, definitely people that brought in no offense, Mason Mount. We'll get onto that in a minute. Havertz, Pulisic, Cucurella, Azpilicueta. They obviously had a lot of people had Andres Pereira already, but people were bringing in the likes of Ream, Fulham defender as well, and others. And I think I said it was going to be a trap. And a lot of people are kind of going head over heels about this and thinking that they're getting carried away. It's double game week. Got to get in a lot of Fulham players and Chelsea players. So far, a lot of people are probably thinking it was a bit of a waste of a transfer for maybe people that sold Darwin and brought in Mitrovic. How many of those are going to regret that? Because I'm regretting selling Darwin. And I do think Darwin's going to get to a point where he's going to start scoring goals, and I don't think we're that far away. He's teasing it, isn't he? He's teasing it. If you watch him play,
he scored last night.
He's doing everything right. I'm almost like Premier League now. I didn't actually watch the cup game. By all accounts, they were lucky to beat Wolves.
Oh, really?
Yes. From what I've read and what I've heard, but again, comment down below if you think that's an inaccurate statement. I didn't watch the game, didn't see the highlights yet. Anyway.
But what's the biggest talking point of this game week so far is that you're now 8 points ahead of me.
Well, but you've still got over me. You've still got Andres Pereira to play, and you've still got Mason Mount. Is Mason Mount going to be playing?
Yeah.
There's a chance so therefore you're probably going to get those 8 points or more back from those two players.
I would say, look, let's just go with
4 points.
4 points.
4 points then. You cut it down to 4 points. That's mate, 4 8 points, it's nothing. All it needs is me to take a -8 and then
But what was it beforehand? Before the Chelsea game happened with the Man City game happened. I said to you that we'll be lucky. I'll be lucky to be coming out of this game week. Really, really. I think you'll be like 10, 15 points ahead of me by the end of this game week. And what happens is come on, Jace, get real here. Akanji doesn't even start the game.
Comes on at half time, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. What were you thinking? Because Ben White would have come on for you.
Ben White would have come on with 7 points. Oh yes. I mean, it's just you roll the dice, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, and whenever you bring in a Man City defender, you're never 100% sure.
Come on, Akanji, guaranteed.
Nothing's guaranteed in Pep Guardiola's side. I mean, nothing's guaranteed. Yeah, and I think we've played FPL long enough to realise that. And rotation's going to kick in at some point, and has been kicking in, I should say, as well. And it's it's just, I always used to think like, well, if I have a Kanji starting, will he get subbed on? Will he sub a centre back on? Maybe I can just risk starting him, and if he doesn't start, if he doesn't play, then maybe I'll just get lucky with Ben White, and that's what happened. He didn't start, and I thought I was going to get lucky with Ben White, and I was thinking, yes, right, but of course he got subbed on at half time, so it is what it is. Did I watch the match? I think I watched bits of it. I don't think I watched the whole match.
It's supposed to have been a terrible game. The news came out that Mason Mount hurt himself. He was kicked like the day before. I mean, chance of that. And I mean, it must be disappointing as well from your point of view that Kevin De Bruyne didn't get an attack in return again.
Yes. Yep. I feel like I'm a little bit cursed. I'm not going to lie.
Why is that? Why do you think that?
Just feels like my differentials on you just are seeming to be absolutely doing nothing. Like they're either like performing really bad or they're just being unlucky and being the assistant. Like Kevin De Bruyne, a case in point. You know, he's an expensive differential that I have over you. But over the last 2-3 weeks, he's been behind the play really, and been involved in the build-up play, not involved in the actual goal.
And the fact that he would have got, if Andreas had stayed on for a further 2 bloody minutes, he would have got the same points as Andreas.
Yeah.
It's just mad. Again, comment below. But in all seriousness, it's what the hell is the chances of a double game week player in Andreas, who Davey FPL captained, Andrew Martin captained
Andreas?
Yeah, right. And he played 58 minutes. When does Andreas ever play less than 70 minutes?
Well, in a double game, you have to realise that these managers are looking at these double game weeks and thinking, right, I need to conserve my players' energy. And
well, they had an FA Cup game, for crying out loud. He could have saved him then.
Well, this is the thing. You're an FPL manager, not a Premier League manager, and when you've got human beings that are got 2-3 games in a week, then you need to think about the minutes they play. But yeah, I mean, it's just what can I say other than the fact that unlucky, 58 minutes, 2 more minutes, and you would have got.
In fact, I can tell you the answer. Guess what the answer is, Jace? Not once this season has Andreas played less than 60 minutes. In fact, in game week 6 against Tottenham away, he played 60 minutes. Every other time he's played a minimum.
But how many times in the season have Fulham played 3 times in a game week or in 9 days?
Well, yeah, I get that, but they were playing whoever they were playing. I don't even know who they were playing yesterday, but he wasn't going to play in that match.
Did he not play in that match?
Again, I can quickly look, but I very much doubt Andreas played against whoever they played yesterday in the FA Cup.
Okay, right. Well, anyway, let's move on from Andreas Pereira. Let's just think about looking at the
Hull City. It was Hull City. They won 2-0, and he was, if this stupid thing decides to load up, which it does, he did actually play incredibly.
How many minutes?
And he played 72.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, crazy.
It's just man management. It's man management, isn't it? It's what it is.
Says. Crazy.
Okay, so Brentford versus Liverpool. Let's just talk about that. It seems about a million miles. It's almost like a million years ago now. That game. God, that game seems so long ago. Brentford, Ivan Toney on the bench. I was watching it. I watched that game, and I must admit, I enjoyed every single minute of that game. I loved that game. I had a massive smile on my face. Liverpool, they looked disjointed. They were very uncomfortable with Brentford. They couldn't deal with the the counter attack of Brentford. Liverpool, of course, playing the high line, exploiting the fullback. Sorry, the centre backs for Liverpool. Van Dijk, I feel, had a very average game.
He was taken off, wasn't he?
He was. They said it was a tactical change, an injury potentially.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Obviously, got lucky with the own goal from Konate. I must admit, if from a Liverpool point of view, Alexander-Arnold got a point in that game, but again, I don't feel he did a lot. I don't think as a team, I don't think Liverpool did a lot. Again, against Wolves, I didn't see the game there, so I don't know if their shape and their players look better in that game in the cup. But from a Premier League point of view, they're really off the pace. Really off the pace. They're actually further down the pace than United. So they've got some big changes to do, I think, in that team, and they need to get Darwin scoring goals. If they can get Darwin scoring goals, it'll be a different story. I think it just need be more clinical. He's definitely getting the chances. He's making the chances himself. He's getting on the end of chances.
It was a finger offside, which I find ridiculous.
It was, yeah. But all in all, the result, I think, was a fair one. Brentford, points to them, deservingly. Buemo played well. Really well, picking up those bonus 3 I see there. Visser as well, had a great game. Now it says that it says that Chamberlain was the highest bonus points scorer for Liverpool, and that says a lot about that game. So and that's purely because he got a goal. Like, he did absolutely nothing else other than that, getting that goal. But yeah, Liverpool fans, let me know what your thoughts are. I've heard a lot from Liverpool fans recently, and they don't seem too happy with the performances. Then we were on to Tuesday the 3rd. We had Arsenal draw against Newcastle.
Surprise, 0-0 is the history kind of, in a way, predicted.
What can I say other than the fact that it was a game I didn't watch, so I can't really say much about it, to be honest.
Let's get real here. I didn't watch. In fact, I didn't watch any of the football this week due to work. But it was what the history suggested this season, that Newcastle are going to make it hard. That's their 5th or 6th 0-0 this season away from home.
Really?
Yeah. So it was always going to be. But apparently Arsenal had a couple of penalty shouts that weren't given and all this malarkey. But the reality of the situation is Arsenal unbeaten, Newcastle unbeaten in that game. Happy days. We move forward. At least neither of them lost, and they still continue this fight for the Arsenal still continue this fight for the title. Newcastle continue this fight for the Champions League.
I think you said City were going to win the title at the beginning of the season when I asked you.
Who didn't?
Yeah, true. Still saying the same?
No, I think Arsenal are going to. I think if Arsenal can continue with the way they're performing at the moment, how can they cock it up? Well, Dan, if you're listening, how can you cock it up? Because they're 5-6 points clear of Man City at the moment. If I bring it up here on the screen, and
5 points.
5 points clear of City, and when they play each other next, but
the fixtures.
What about the fixtures?
What are the fixtures like for Arsenal?
Well,
here we go. Look at the
fixtures.
Look at the fixture of Arsenal now. You've got Spurs away, big game, massive game. Then you've got Man United away. No, sorry, Man United at home. So Spurs away, Man United at home. Then you've got Everton. Easy game. Brentford, tough game against Brentford.
If they're still in it for this game against Man City, on the 15th of February,
I'm going to say that they're going to be 2 points. 2 points, I think it'd be really close. I think that Arsenal City game on the 15th February is going to be massive. Obvious reasons, massive. That will determine the league.
Arsenal to beat Tottenham because Tottenham are useless.
Really, I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like a draw.
Honestly, think that for Man United. I think they'll nick a draw against United. Everton, when Sean Dyche is their manager, will probably nick a draw. But no, let's get real here. Arsenal to beat Everton. I think Arsenal then beat Brentford.
Really? Do you think they're going to beat them?
Who's that, sorry?
Brentford.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Arsenal at home are machines. They're a completely different animal.
Okay.
And then against Man City, seriously, I think Arsenal can beat Man City. The way they're playing right now.
If Arsenal beat Spurs, Everton, Brentford, and Man City, then their title's theirs. In my opinion,
10 points before Man City to get, and then against Man City, that's 13 points. Whereas Man City, on the other hand, their fixtures, and you've got to include cup games, but at the moment it just stands as the FA Cup, which they're about to play now as we're recording this. So City away at Southampton, that's a guaranteed 3 points. We know that. Away at Man United, very, very tough fixture. Very tough. They're then at home to Tottenham. Again, ironically, Tottenham seems to cause Man City problems.
Spurs have got hard fixtures.
Yeah. And then you've got Man City at home to Wolves. There's your 3 points. And then
I've just realised something. City and Spurs are playing each other twice in 2 weeks.
I've just seen it myself. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 weeks. Wow.
In fact, Man City have got a Carabao Cup game this week against Southampton on the 11th. Before they play you lot on the 14th.
Yeah.
So they've got an FA Cup game in the next hour as we're recording this at 3:45 in the afternoon. The next hour they're playing Chelsea. Then they got Southampton away. Then they're away at you lot, which I think is going to be really, really difficult.
Don't forget United. You know, you mentioned Man City being 5 points behind. United are only 4 points behind City. So 9 points. 9 points. 9 points.
Our rivalry between me, you, and Dan is incredible. Really, really tense at the moment. It's down to like the odd differential that's getting us the advantage here or there. In this case, with Man United just seemingly, I mean, the last time they lost was away at Aston Villa, and we all remember how that went. And then the following match, didn't you beat Aston Villa in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup or something like that? But you've won 5 out of the last 6. And as I said to you the other day,
they're looking good. Rashford's looking brilliant.
Oh, looking incredible. How did you play against Everton? Just absolute domination.
Yeah, and Rashford again. It's like Roy Keane come out and said he expects him to play like that every week now. But if he can keep his mindset and his head screwed on his shoulders, then and avoid injury, that's the main thing, right?
Yeah. Since we've discussed it before, since that 6-3 defeat to Man City, you've won every single game, barring that one that I told you about against Aston Villa, and you drew against Chelsea and you drew against Newcastle. That's it. Every other game since, including Europa League, you've won every single match.
Yeah.
And all I can see is clean sheets, clean sheets, clean sheets. 3-0, 1-0, 3-0, 2-0, 1-0, 1-0, 3-0, 2-0, 0-0, 1-0. This is why I'm going with your mate Luke Shaw.
Well, fuck's sake. You're getting him in, are you? Are you going to get everyone in?
I've got to.
Oh, don't.
Double Man United defence. Because as we called it, Wan-Bissaka didn't play in the FA Cup.
Dallow's back now. What are you going to do then? You're going to swap Wan-Bissaka?
No, Wan-Bissaka will be playing against Man City. He'll be playing against Man City.
Will he?
And then it's... Yeah, he'll be playing against Man City.
You seem confident.
Yeah, because I think Ten Hag has got faith in Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Do you?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I think I should be okay for the next.
I don't think he's his first choice.
He's not. I'm not saying he's first choice. No, I'm not suggesting that for 1 minute.
I don't. Maybe he'll look at it and think that Wan-Bissaka defensively could put up a better performance against City than Dalot at this stage in his recovery.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But it's not a forgiven. That's not a.
It's not a given.
Foregone conclusion.
It's not. I think that Aaron Wan-Bissaka has done enough to play against Man City.
Okay.
At home.
Okay.
I'm confident enough he plays that game.
Okay.
But I'm definitely going to be bringing in.
What would you do if you owned a Kanji right now? What would you do?
But he's playing today, just to let you know. So is Mason.
No, for the double game week.
Yeah, well, you're going to stick with him, aren't you? You've got to. He's going to play both games.
Yeah, but is he going to play bloody 45 minutes each game?
No. I think that's just. I don't know what happened there, but that's the reality.
Pep Guardiola screwed me over. That's what happened there. Okay, so moving on to. So
are we just a Man United podcast now? Are we
no.
Are we going up against the United stand?
Yeah. Hello, Mark, if you're watching. Arsenal, Newcastle. We just finished that off with I didn't see the game, but it was just.
It was expected.
Was it nervous, cagey game?
Again,
I know that Arteta got really angry in that game.
Yeah, because of the penalties.
Yeah,
the refereeing decisions.
VAR. Have you been happy with the decisions of VAR this season so far?
I agree with my close friend Steve, my in-house landlord. I just think that VAR has just almost ruined the game. It's just not.
I disagree. I think on a whole, I think this season,
not for fingertips and toenails. It's mental.
It's not been that. I don't think it's been that ridiculous this season. Not compared to previous seasons. I think they've really started to balance out the decisions, and it's not taken as long as it used to. You remember when it used to take like 30, 40 seconds to make a decision? Now it's taking like 12 seconds, 15 seconds, decision made, boom, get on with the game. I think they're going in the right direction, is what I'm saying. They're not quite perfect yet, but I think they're making the right steps. Everton, Brighton.
I thought
who cares about that game? 4-1 Brighton. Just shows how shite Everton is. Gross, March, Mitoma, and Ferguson. I've heard Mitoma could be a dark horse, Steve-O, that people should be getting on.
Yeah, I remember Bilal talking about Mitoma, but again, someone that unless Brighton have a double game week or something, I have no interest in.
And yeah. It's an awkward one. I think Andres Pereira normally fills that midfield slot, right? That fifth midfielder slot for most people anyway, for the value for money you get from him, the minutes he's playing right now. So, and I'd argue Fulham are a better team than Brighton.
Yeah.
Leicester versus Fulham. Fulham beating Leicester 1-0.
I'll tell you what. The actual scoreline surprised me. 1-0.
Yes, 1-0.
I did say if Leicester were to lose, it wouldn't surprise me. They just don't score goals. In fact, I'll ask you the question here. In the past 4 games, how many goals have Leicester scored, including cups? So including an FA Cup yesterday, how many goals have Leicester scored?
In the past 4 games, including the FA Cup, how many goals has Leicester scored?
Without cheating.
2.
Yes.
In 4 games,
6.
They've conceded 6, scored 2. That's bad, man. That is bad.
And this is the messed up thing. Prior to that, prior to the World Cup, this is Leicester's results. Listen to this. Goes back all the way to October the 15th. Leicester 0, Crystal Palace 0. Leicester 2, Leeds 0. Wolves 0, Leicester 4. Leicester 0, Jason's Kevin De Bruyne captain 1. Everton 0, Leicester 2. Leicester 3, Newport 0. West Ham 0, Leicester 2. Milton Keynes Dons 0, Leicester 3. World Cup happens and it's just completely gone downhill. What the hell's going on?
Big problems.
There are serious problems. They come back, they lose 2.
Maddison, will he be going in the summer?
I would think so, yeah. I think so, yeah.
Are they going to get relegated?
No. They won't get relegated. There's worse teams in the Premier League than Leicester.
Well, at the moment, you say that, they're currently sitting on 17 points. They are 2 points above relegation. The good thing for them is that they are sitting 13th, and there's another seven teams underneath them that are worse.
Well, let's look at those teams, shall we? Nottingham Forest is going to cause a lot of problems. Yeah.
Wow.
They've got a good team spirit, and they're putting in a fight.
Wow.
Bournemouth are a sack of shite. West Ham
Bournemouth
are lost for ideas. Everton, absolutely hopeless.
Can you believe
Wolves,
Everton may be relegated?
Well, the talk is apparently genuinely Sean Dyche. They're looking at Sean Dyche.
Well, they need something. So at the moment, as it stands, teams that you think may be going down are Bournemouth,
Southampton, and
Southampton. What has happened to them?
Look at it.
What has happened?
What's going on?
What's happened? What's happened to Southampton?
Look at their last 6 games, all lost. Every single game they. In fact, I'm going to find out.
They are rooted. They are rooted to the bottom of the table. Absolutely rooted to the bottom of the table.
So their last 2.
Who's got Southampton next week? Hang on.
It's Man City. Sorry.
No, it's not.
In the Premier League is Everton.
Oh.
But
week after, who's after that? No.
When was the last time they won the Premier League, Jake?
Aston Villa. Say again.
When was the last time they won in the Premier League?
Well, last time probably something silly like. I'm going to go with the last time they won in the Premier League was in August. No.
It was in October, 19th of October, against Bournemouth away, and it ended 1-0. All they've done is won in cups against Crystal Palace yesterday, against Lincoln City, and against...
They won 3 games.
Sheffield Wednesday.
They've won 3 games this season.
Yeah. Ironically, one of the games was against Chelsea.
Wow. Okay. So we're going with teams to be relegated then. Bournemouth, Southampton, and Leicester. Bournemouth, Southampton, and Everton. Wow.
Possibly Wolves. Maybe, in fact, probably Wolves.
Oh, I don't know. I like Wolves. I think Wolves can come out.
Good enough in front of goal.
They haven't got they haven't got the
11 goals scored. Nottingham Forest has scored more.
If Calvert-Lewin goes back to being at his best, I think Everton will be fine. Right, anyway, it's moving on down to Man United, Bournemouth. Man United 3, Bournemouth 0.
As expected.
Just that Luke Shaw goal. That Luke Shaw goal was massive.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka versus Shaw.
Wow.
And when I saw Shaw scored, I was just like, oh.
Good goal. It was a really good goal. Honestly, no flukiness about that goal.
No.
You can't feel hard done by. That was just a good goal. Garnacho getting on the assist on that one. Garnacho is a player I've been thinking at 4.2 he could be like a good 5th midfielder choice if you're willing to roll the dice.
Max Roberts did it.
Yeah.
He's done it.
What can I say other than the fact that De Gea, another clean sheet, played well. The whole team played well. Casemiro again, standout performance. But against Bournemouth, to be expected, right?
Yes.
Southampton getting beaten by Nottingham Forest. Southampton are just pants. Nottingham Forest, they're not exactly much better than Southampton, in my opinion.
No, but they've got a team spirit and they're putting up a fight.
Yeah, they'll just about survive, I think. Wouldn't surprise me if they finished like 16th in the league this season.
Yeah, as long as they make their home a fortress, they'll be fine.
Yeah. Then we got Leeds versus West Ham, 2-2, in a game that had absolutely no relevance to me in the FPL world at all. Rodrigo and Gnotto. Gnotto looks like a good player. That Gnotto guy.
Never even heard of him.
Yeah, he's tiny, he's small, but he's anyway. Skamaka and Paqueta getting goals for West Ham. But again, you're not going to bring any of these players into your FPL team. No, absolutely not. Not unless you want to slip down the rankings, and these aren't differentials. These are just complete punts at the very best. So, 2-2 high scoring game. You mentioned you thought that game was going to be high scoring.
Yeah, I thought it'd be like I think I said 3-1 to Leeds or 3-2 or something like that. Yeah, I did think it would be goals in that one, and that's exactly what happened.
Aston Villa then drawing against Wolves in a 1-1. Danny Ings for Villa and Podence for Wolves. Assists from Mings and Moutinho. Again, players of days gone by. No one's got any of these players
Aston Villa would have been annoyed at that result, though. 1-1 against a local rival, considering how well they've been performing under Unai Emery since he's taken over. That should really have been let's get a win here. But interestingly enough, Jace, there seems to be a pattern I've just seen here with Aston Villa. Every time they lose a match, they come back with a positive result.
Okay. And they've got Thingy next, haven't they? They've got
Stevenage in the cup, and then it's Leeds.
Oh, Leeds, yeah.
And then it's Southampton.
I expect them to beat Leeds. Southampton will be a win for them. Right. So then we move on to the Crystal Palace Spurs game. Spurs completely dominating Crystal Palace. And guess what? I see a name on the score sheet that I haven't seen for a long time.
Oh.
Heung-min Son.
Yeah.
Son, do you remember him? Do you remember Son? Everyone had him in their team.
I look more at the other player that scored and just think I've cursed myself here. I said I wouldn't buy him if he was to score in every single game.
You literally said that. You said I would not buy him. I wouldn't have him in my team if he scored in every single game. And he's scored how many goals now?
I think literally in every single game, barring 1 or 2.
15 goals he's got. Wow.
And he scored the 1 goal yesterday as well against Portsmouth.
It's... We still not going to have him in your team?
And
then we move on to he's already transferred him in. Plot twist.
Wink.
Oh, Chelsea, Man City.
Apparently
Mahrez getting the goal. Yeah,
abysmal.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
You said you watched bits of it.
I watched bits of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, it was supposed to be bad.
Yeah.
A lot of players that you wouldn't normally expect to see in a Chelsea lineup, especially the first team. And I mean, if I bring up the game here in front of me,
Haaland hardly had a touch in that game.
6. Was it you that said to me 6 touches
in the first half or something, or the whole game? I can't remember. I think it was ridiculous low touches in the game. Like I remember, he had the first touch in the 22nd minute of the game. It was like, hang on. But yeah,
I mean, look at these players that Chelsea brought on: Hutchinson, Hall, Chukwuemeka, Gallagher, and Aubameyang.
They were forced moves though, because Sterling went off with injury. He had to bring on Aubameyang for Sterling. I can't remember who else got subbed off there. Without looking,
it was Ziyech, Pulisic.
Pulisic had a knock as well.
Okay.
Pulisic had a knock.
Cucurella got taken off.
Right, yeah. Pulisic definitely was a forced substitution. So was Sterling. Pulisic got his foot caught up, so he had I think like an ankle sprain or something like that. Fulham versus Chelsea is this Thursday. I'm not going to be watching it. I refuse to watch it because I haven't got anyone in it other than Kepa. And what result would you be happy with? A 0-0?
Well, the fact that Fulham have got no Mitrovic,
You want Chelsea to win, don't you? Because you got Mason
But
Mount.
I want Mason Mount to do something.
So 1-0, 2-0 to Chelsea. Mason Mount involvement at minimum.
Yeah, get that 8 points back, clawed back on you. And obviously, preferably a 2-1.
Are you spending any points this week?
Well, we're still waiting on the news about a potential double game week 20.
And what happens if there is a double game week 20?
Sorry, there is a double game week 20. It's more... No, wait a minute.
Man United. You're waiting on the news of Man United?
Yeah, I'm waiting on news for Man United and...
But what news from Man United is going to affect your... You've said you're going to bring Shaw in.
Well, as it stands right now, I'm not going to be doing that move. It will be Mason Mount out along with God knows who. Because I'm potentially, Jace...
You get Harry Kane.
Maybe going with a differential Man City player in midfield rather than Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, you're going to go with Jack Grealish?
No. I'm thinking potentially Mahrez.
Oh no, you're going to get hurt, man. You're going to get hurt. You're going to fall. You're going to be raging. You're going to be raging at Pep Guardiola's rotation.
Well, if we look at, I'm probably going to be proven completely wrong here, but Mahrez seems to be playing well at the moment. Seems to be. Yeah,
but every time Mahrez plays well, he gets pulled off. He gets
last 3 fixtures, 87 minutes got an assist, 90 minutes got an assist, 30 minutes got a goal.
All right, so you're going to go with okay.
But as you've just stated, and prior to that, he didn't play a single minute for 3 matches, 61 minutes, and then nothing.
Kevin De Bruyne is expensive, isn't he?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, mate, you have played the team value game to absolute perfection this year. Now, admittedly, you've said that the players you brought in have done nothing for you, but you've played a blinder.
Oh, yeah, but I'm still sitting on 1 millionth in the world.
Yeah,
literally, you're 1,100,000. I've got it on the screen here, 1,189,000, and I'm 1 million.
Yeah.
1,083 points. You're 1,075. Oh my god, it's like, yeah. But team value doesn't win you mini leagues.
It doesn't, but you can do so much. I can't.
It depends on, like, De Bruyne is not really worth, or he hasn't been really worth the 12 point whatever he's worth now, 12.5.
Just a quick one. To sort my team out, I could, in theory, wildcard. Forgot about that, because I've forgotten about the wildcard shit.
I could wildcard.
You could wildcard, yeah.
But I'm not going to.
Well, no, I'm not suggesting that you should, but the point being, I could to sort out my team.
Just hit your bench boost.
And I'm not going to hit bench
boost. No, your ward against Nottingham Forest?
Certainly.
Don't bet bench boost.
I will be, because I look at this Deadwood in my team, Robertson.
Deadwood?
James.
Yeah.
Robertson ain't keeping a clean sheet against Brighton. Tough fixture. Reece James is out for a further 2 more weeks. It's just money burning a hole. And who am I bringing in? Who the hell am I bringing in? So, like I say, my plan was originally Mason Mount out for Kevin De Bruyne and Darwin out for a...
Do you know what?
Like what you've got. But then I'd have to take out another player to bring in, say, the likes of Kanji or something.
What's the chances of Darwin dropping another 0.1?
Well, I could check now, but I very much doubt it's going to be...
Because if he does, I can do a straight swap from Mitrovic to Darwin.
Let's have a quick look here. Mitrovic to Darwin.
Straight swap, yeah.
Blocking me off now.
Look, because
that's the thing, isn't it? With this rivalry, we can easily block each other off. No, he's nowhere near falling. I don't think people are really active at the moment in the transfer market.
I tell you what, if that double game week for Man United comes in, people may be selling them like Darwin to get some money in so they can bring in maybe Martial.
Well, again, this is the horrible thing, is that that's where my head would be swung to. But let's have a quick look. I'm going to look at Ben Crellin for a second to see what he's saying regarding...
The thing is, this is a game of chess, isn't it? It really is a game of chess because...
Between me and you, yeah.
Yeah.
And Dan, let's get real here. Let's not leave him out.
Who's he? Dan? I don't care about Dan. He'll drop off, don't worry. You ain't got the stamina to keep up with us, Steve-O.
Here we are.
Second half of the season, he will do a Bellamy.
Only 4 teams can double in game week 20. Now, this has just been released 13 minutes ago.
13 minutes
Spurs
ago.
and Man City. You know this. If Man City don't draw against Chelsea this afternoon, so if Man City don't draw against Man City this afternoon, then Spurs and Man City will have their double. And Palace and Man United will get a double if Crystal Palace and Man United is moved to game week 20 at short notice. Right. Right, that's confused me. So it's Crystal Palace will be playing Man United.
So so hang on. What conditions need to be met for United to have the double?
So it's saying here the only day that Crystal Palace versus Man United can move to is January the 18th. So I don't see a reason why they'd wait to announce it. Sky could decide whether to televise it later when the televised FA Cup replays are announced. So it's going to be Crystal Palace and Man City for Man United in a double.
Wow, so United in game week 20 will play City and
Crystal Palace.
Man City and Crystal Palace.
And I think it's Crystal Palace away.
Oh, you know what? I think United will score in both those games.
Well, so do I. So do I. In fact, Ben, it's all complications.
But I can't get in, Marshall.
You can't.
Because I've got 2 defenders for Man United.
2 defenders?
Yes, I've got Dalot and Shaw.
Oh, you've already got Dalot. Yeah. Wow. It's mad, isn't it? This chess game.
So now I'm forced in a certain direction because of that. Because I'm not going to be taking -4, -8.
You will.
No. If I've got a player that's playing a double game week, I'm not going to take them out to bring in another player that's playing a double game week. I'll bring in. No. I mean, Man City, I've got 3 players for. I'm not going to bring in any Palace players.
This is why you're now ahead of me in this chess game, because you've got the 3 City players already. You've already got it.
That Mitrovic slot to Darwin is really teasing. Right, let me just go on the screen. If I show you, I share my screen with you.
Yep.
See that?
Okay.
So as you can see, if I go to transfers, I've got 1.8 million in the bank, Steve-O. 1.8 million. Now, issues in my team. Well, Mitrovic's fixtures aren't exactly amazing. He's got Chelsea,
proof, as they say.
Newcastle, Tottenham.
So it's Newcastle and Tottenham, which are difficult fixtures. Well, Tottenham fans would argue not, but...
if I get rid of Mitrovic, I got 8.8.
Oh, he's 8.9.
And Darwin's 8.9.
But he's not a desperate move to get in, Darwin.
No, he's not a desperate move to get in. But...
Oh, you can't... I just realised you can't... Yeah, the Martial bit you can't get.
I love the fact that Steve-O, if we can get a video a bit quick, can we get a close-up on Steve-O's face? Close-up on Steve-O's face. Say it again.
You can't get Martial.
Can't get Martial, yeah. Look at his face. He's so happy. He's so happy, isn't he? Yes, smug git.
But you've got...
Is there a but?
3 guaranteed. Well, the lot not necessarily guaranteed. Because you've got the player which will take Wan-Bissaka's spot, but Wan-Bissaka's got the spot as we speak.
Well, only because didn't Dalot get subbed on?
He got subbed on, but like we said, he's going to get his minutes managed. But
he played in the cup, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He's back to full fitness, mate.
We're not saying he's not, but Wan-Bissaka's done nothing.
Doesn't matter.
For him to be
Garnacho doesn't do anything wrong in the game. He does well. He gets assists. He puts in energy.
Slight difference is that
he's a substitution. He's a bench player.
And I would argue that having Anthony in the place of him is...
He played 21 minutes against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think it is a chance. It's 50-50 for me. I'm at that point where I think it's 50-50 between Dalot and Wan-Bissaka in that game. I wouldn't be surprised either way. If the team sheet comes out and it's Wan-Bissaka starting, I wouldn't be surprised. If the team sheet
No, I agree. I think from a defensive point of view, Wan-Bissaka will be chosen ahead of the lot.
Yeah, mate. Well,
and against Crystal Palace, if that is all goes ahead, I think that even though it'll be a return for Aaron Wan-Bissaka to Crystal Palace, Ten Hag wouldn't give a stuff about that, and he'll play the lot.
Okay, so going back to this, so with the news of Man United getting a double game week, if that news came in, there's nothing I can do with my team anyway, unless I was to do a -4, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do a -4 to get Martial in, because Martial is unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get from Martial.
No, but I think
you don't know if he's going to be fit enough to not go off injured.
But but you've just said that you see Man United scoring in both those games.
I do, and I'm almost at the point where I'm thinking like that Anthony guy could be more of a shrewd move.
Well, yeah, but again, this is all
as a differential on lots of people. I don't know. Let's see. It's because City love to play a high line. They love a high line, and it's got Rashford's name all over that game.
And it's at home.
It's got Rashford's name all over that.
And looking at the history between you guys,
Man United come in with double. Are you going to captain Rashford? Yes or no?
No, it's Haaland, isn't it?
I'm going to. If United get the double game week, I'm captaining Rashford 100%.
Man City away at you lot. 0-0, 2-0 win, 2-0 win.
Trends are there to be broken.
Man City at home. 2-0 to Man United. 4-1 City, 6-3 City. Man City like to play you.
But United are different now. Well, I say that as a confident, but they're looking different.
You are completely right. I'm not gonna. Like I said, I'm calling it now. I'm gonna go with a 1-1, if not a 2-1 to you lot. That's
so. Why would you captain Haaland then? Because everyone else is.
Well, yeah.
Promise you now. If United get a double game week, I'm captaining Marcus Rashford.
There's a small possibility that I could go down that route.
100%.
A small possibility.
I think that City team is not invulnerable. And I think they play that high line. I think Marcus Rashford would absolutely love that.
Yeah, like he's in form at the moment, isn't he? He's in very good form at the moment. But we'll discuss that.
City will have a lot of possession. But yeah, we'll discuss that on the preview. We'll discuss
that on the preview, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
A lot of things can happen between now and then. But anyway, that was just my situation is 1.8 million in the bank, burning a hole in my pocket right now. What would you do to this team if it was yours? Like if you were rocking this team, what would you consider doing?
You've got to look at the likes of Mitrovic to get him gone. You've got to keep the 3 City. That's a guaranteed. I think for now, I think you're comfortable enough right this second for this double game week.
Yeah.
To leave the team as it is. And
I'm thinking Almiron as well as an option.
Say it again.
Almiron is another one I'm looking at. Potentially jumping off of, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
But their fixtures are still decent. I might jump off him come the Liverpool game.
Okay.
Because their fixtures start to turn then. But Almiron, for me, like someone told me that, I think it was mutual friend Pete. Said that old Jack Chater, big Newcastle fan, he seems to think that Almiron's been getting very, very lucky and overperforming.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which I was surprised at hearing, to be honest with you, because I thought he's been playing it up incredible.
Yeah, a lot of Newcastle fans have been very, very, very impressed by him.
Yeah. He's been amazing. 9 goals, 2 assists so far. For the price point he's at, I mean, if I was to get him gone, it'll give me 7.6 million to spend in midfield. Again, there's not much at that price point. And what is at that price point? Is it really going to be an upgrade to Almiron? I would argue no.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only thing I could do, and this could be interesting, and I'll be interested in hearing your thoughts. I could go Akanji out, Almiron out, and bring in.
But you're not going to be doing this. This is going to be game 21.
Yeah, I'm looking at ways of like changing up my team, but like you said, I don't have to worry about any of this right now. In fact, I could just roll the transfer and go into Gameweek 21.
Yes,
just roll the transfer, captain, Rashford, or if he's got a double game week. Remember to captain him before he goes to sleep. And I still think that Darwin will be my team. I do think Darwin will be my team at some point. It's a shame I can't do. If I could do Mitrovic to Darwin, I'd do it. I would do that straight away.
Yeah.
But it's not worth doing a -4. Like it's not worth doing, say, Mitrovic, Darwin, and then dropping, say, Ben White, for example, down to anyone else. It's just not worth the point here. Not when we're so close together. It's just it's just annoying. And just a move for the sake of doing a move when it could be done in Gameweek 21.
Yes.
So it's like the fixtures, Gameweek 21, Chelsea at home, and then after that, Wolves away, Everton at home, Newcastle away, Crystal Palace away for Liverpool. Some good fixtures there for Liverpool. So, in fact, Liverpool have got a decent run.
Yeah.
And they've still got a Wolves game and a Chelsea game. Wolves at home and Chelsea away to be scheduled at some point as well. So yeah, we'll bear that in mind. Cool. So that's that. I think Steve-O, we want to talk about the league that Gabriel Diop has been putting together.
Well, the cup, yes.
The cup, I should say, not league. Cup. Big shout out to Gabriel Diop in the Discord.
Absolutely.
Thank you for putting this together. So for people that do remember the Super Cup of years gone by, we've got something along those lines that Gabriel Diop has been spearheading in the Discord. Steve-O, would you like to kind of go over it loosely?
Yeah, so to be completely transparent, certain individuals from our moderator team have unfortunately not left the role, but they've left FPL for this season. And due to that, it means that their role as a moderator is kind of vanquished, so to speak, for this season. And one of those individuals was the individual that put together the Super Cup. And unfortunately, due to mine and Jason's busy work life and whatnot, we were unable to commit to anything to do with the Super Cup itself. And because this moderator had technically kind of left, there were individuals in the Discord that were wondering, basically, what's going on with the Super Cup this year. And me and Jason were like, we really don't know, because this individual that arranged everything has pretty much left. And thankfully, Gabriel de Rop actually put something together. And we're calling it this year, for this year only, the Elite FPL Discord Cup. And it's going to be featuring all regular users of the Discord and regular YouTube contributors as well. So most of the names that we will be reading out in this, you will recognize. There's Gabriel de Rop's done this all on his own. Like Jay said, this is a massive thanks to him. And I'd like to think that the majority of people that are watching this right now are going to recognize the fact that they're in it. If you are a Discord user, you can actually view the groups themselves. It is in the Super Cup chat menu on the Discord server itself. And Gabriel de Rop has put together the 96 teams, which equate to up to Group P. So from Group A to Group P, we have got 96 teams in there. And then, as people know, it's just it's a head-to-head, isn't it, Jace? In each group, and then it goes into it's basically the World Cup, essentially.
Yeah.
But for Elite FPL.
And
and like I say, if you want to see the group, by all means, you can just go to the hashtag Super Cup chat there. Are we going to read it out, Chase? Each group. Do you want to do that, or
we could probably do it? When's it due to go live?
I believe it's Gameweek 20. I could be completely wrong here.
I think we can do it in the preview.
Starting this current Gameweek 19. So it's actually starting this current Gameweek 19. Wait. Updates after this game week is finished. So, yeah, it started already, everybody that's watching this right now. It has actually started. So, our advice is to know if you're in it or not, is just to go to the Discord. If I was to quickly read it, Jace, if you want me to, I'll be more than happy.
Yeah, go for it. I see the groups. I see the names of the groups. Go for it.
Okay, so Group A.
I'll stick it up on the screen. Give me one moment.
That's fantastic.
Just give me one moment.
Yeah. We could read a group out each, shall we, Jace? So I go Group A, you go Group B.
No.
And so on and so forth.
Let you do all the talking.
You want me to do all the talking?
Why would I? Yeah. Well, give me a second. Let me just get this up on the screen for people to see at home, the audience. Here we go. Okay.
Get it up on screen.
There we go.
And again, a big shout out to Gabriel de Rop for putting this together. He only had a very, very, very limited time to put this together. So once again, we really do appreciate the fact.
We do.
That,
Thank you. Okay, Group A. They're all up on the screen now. Let's take it in turns. We got Team 1, Wayne Dean, Rodrigo, Moso, Team 2, Peter Skillen, Team 3, Lionel Messi, Team 4, Team 5 is Crypto FPL, and FPL Harry in Team 6. Group B is Steve-O.
Yep, Group B is Ali _25, Armand Dillon, Warfare, the legend that is Dalipool, who captained Leno this week, Ahmed John Harris, and No Weak Foot.
Group C is Nasu, FPL Jones Bloke, Mark Byrne, Ayush, Christian Walsh, and Cinnamon 11.
Group D is as follows: a friend of the show, Dread FPL, Kickus, FPL Mechanic, Hoddles Bootlickers, Alex Volo, and FPL Seb.
Group E is Notorious, Semi-Sweet Potato, Harbour Boy, The Don, Akanji, and PKRO. Picro.
Kanji.
Yeah, don't know who the kanji is.
Group F, the J-Lo, Dara Brosnan, Bilal, Shano83, Buffy, Danny91.
Group G, Stevo, Podner, Kazali, FPL Maestro, the best. Oh, wow. And Dumpster Fire. So you against, oh my
Karma
God,
Baby.
Podner.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Podner, Karma Baby, Kazali, and Simon Bellamy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a big group. Group G.
That is big.
Oh, God.
Group G is as follows: Vish,
H.
Stex.
That's H.
Oh, that's okay. My Zone, Mr. Anderson, Mark Antigua, and Gary Hallowell.
Group I is the following: Nelly, Anurag, Carsty, Joe Nicholson, Natasha, and Dan Bull. So Dan's in Group I.
Group J is as follows: Blonde, Runner, Top Tim, the Southampton fan, Parag, Simic, and Madeline Tudor.
Group K is Treaders, that last guy, Vijay Garv, that is, and Manish, Gravy Dave, and Geordie Kev.
Group L is Flygoz, Gabriel DeRop, Nuclear Atoms, Terminal, Lino.
Oh, and Dereco.
And Dereco.
Brilliant. Group M is Paulie, Zimmy, Cage Paps, El Mako, KDB17, and Lick Me.
Group N, Lick Me, okay. JC, Ramanathan, Denver, Infamous, EMI, and Tashi.
Group O is Defender, myself, FPL Sparta, Sniper King, The Flying Dutchman, and Corey Langridge.
And finally, with Group P, it's Toffeeman88, One Life Soccer TV, Faded Raza, Matthew Izishi, Harry Dawson, and Mr. Brian
some
Tavares.
big personalities in Group P. Brilliant. Awesome. So that is the groups, guys. More information can be found in the Discord. There's a channel in there under the Super Cup channel. You can talk about it. A massive shout out again to Gabriel DeRop for that. Now, listen, my Sunday dinner is pretty much ready now. I said at 4:30. I would be ready to come in. We had a bit of
you suited a boot with Jace, right?
My Sunday best. Well, hello there. Shout out to the detectorists. Are you the metal detectors?
Detectorists.
Detectorists. Yeah, we'll be back for a preview of Game Week 20 very, very soon. We'll obviously then hopefully have news about the double game week with the teams that are featuring in it.
Yeah.
Whether we'll see Man United in it, yes or no. And obviously more information about this cup will be talked about then, and obviously the score predictions that people are interested or may not be interested in hearing. Steve-O, thank you so much for devoting some of your time on a Sunday afternoon. It's going to go out live. Not going to go out live. It's not going to go out live at all. It's going to go out. It's going to be posted tonight at 8 o'clock. If you're watching it, guys, and you've got this far, give yourselves a pat on the back. You are truly the OG awesome people of this community that we love very dearly. Thank you for your support and that you give to us. And we look forward to having you join us live for a stream very soon. Steve-O, anything else to add?
No, just hopefully that the Fulham-Chelsea game brings us what we want. Simple.
Follow us on at Elite FPL Twitter if you haven't already. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It really supports us. Hit the like button if you haven't done so. And yes, see you in Discord at Elite FPL. Discord.gg /Elite FPL. Take care.
Cheers all.